New York, big city of dreams. New York, big city of dreams. NYC.
What's going on? This is Jay Ellis from Nick of Time Show here. Give me that Knicks talk, just Nick of Time. And I'm pissed. We lost 2 in a row. To both of these teams are lowly teams who aren't making the playoffs. One team has not beat a 500 team yet this season until tonight. And we're going to talk about it all, the bad, the worst, and the ugly. But before we do that, I'm going to introduce you to the Latin assassin, ESPN contributor, Lee Escobedo. What's going on, Lee?
What's going on, man? From my end, when I'm looking at the monitor here, it looks as if I'm a little choppy. How do I look to you, Jay?
A little bit choppy. You sound fine, but you look choppy.
I wonder if my Wi-Fi issues are bad. And what a night for them to be back. My Wi-Fi is performing as shitty as the Knicks. Yeah, man, lots to talk about. Let's get into it.
Yeah, lots to talk about. The Knicks didn't have it. It's funny. Josh Hart made a comment about how tired the team was because of the flying and the road games and how weary they were. And he feels like this is the dog days of the season where they need some rest. And Tibbs goes 8-man rotation. So it's kind of we're a really tough part of the season right now where we need somebody else to step up. And it's like, all right, cool. We're looking for the bench to step up. The bench had 0 points for 3 quarters. 0 points for 3 quarters. We only go 8 deep because Mitchell Robinson is not playing back to back. So then you start to look, okay, where else can we get some help? We might have to go Beauchamp. We might have to go somewhere else. We might have to try something different. Didn't really get to do that tonight. Knicks looked tired. We got out rebounded in the first half by 25-17. Offensive rebounds was bad. The defense was bad. We got good looks, open looks for 3. OG specifically didn't really connect on those 3s. I think he was like 1 for 11 for 3 or something like that. We didn't have a lot, man. We really didn't have a lot. I mean, maybe if we'd hit some shots, some open ones, this could have been a different game. But despite that, the defense still wasn't good. Karl-Anthony Towns' defense still wasn't good. Overall, our defense just wasn't good. It was all bad, man. I usually have like a silver lining. There's nothing silver about tonight. I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know. What do you think, Lee?
I feel exactly the same way you do. This is another loss that is squarely on the head of Tom Thibodeau. This team did not come prepared to compete. When I see a team not prepared to compete, to me, the main responsibility of that is on the coach to prepare the team to compete. This is the first time, I think ever, that I really feel like Tom Thibodeau is losing a little bit, the team. I don't think that he's, quote unquote, lost the locker room. I don't think this team doesn't ride with him. I'm not saying that. But tonight, they looked disinterested in whatever game plan there was. They didn't seem to be interested in executing it. And it got me a little worried tonight. Not so much in the big picture of the Knicks being the 3rd seed and having one of the most successful seasons in the last 20 years and having one of the best starting 5s in the NBA, but just more on the here and now. It looks like that his voice is getting a little tiresome with this group, specifically OG, Bridges, and Hart, look a little disconnected from the coaching staff and the play calling coming from the sidelines. And I see Timmy in the chat, and him and I actually said ECF last game, but I had to think about it with the standings. And I think the way the standings are right now, it's almost guaranteed because of Boston as a 2nd seed and not Cleveland, and the Knicks the 3rd, that the Knicks would play Boston in the 2nd round. If we play Boston in the 2nd round, I don't know what kind of delusion you're on if you think the Knicks are beating Boston in order to go to the ECF. But if the Knicks face Boston in the 2nd round, there's no chance in hell we're making the ECF. We're absolutely not beating Boston looking the way that we're looking right now. This team is not horrible, though, and I think there's one more move to make, and it needs to come this summer, which is upgrading Precious Achiuwa his role, and Landry Shamit's role. Those two positions specifically, I think, need to be improved. The starting five, we have enough to be very, very competitive. And Deuce and Mitch is just a really nice point of attack defender and rim protector on the bench. But we are missing a volume shooter at the 2-3 spot and a a diverse defender who can guard multiple positions at the 4-5. Precious, this was the worst game by Precious I've ever seen in my life on any team at any time. He looked very Jared Jeffries out there. It was infuriating in his minutes, as was Landry Shamet, who threw up nothing but bricks. Those two players have to be improved this summer. Leon has to target free agents because that's the best way we can operate right now. A guy like maybe a Duncan Robinson for the Shamet role, or John Collins if he's willing to impart his player option and come to New York for a cheap as a backup four, or maybe a Toron Prince who's an unrestricted free agent. I don't know who it is. That's Leon's job. But no matter who he brings in, they have to be better than Landry Shamet and Precious Achiuwa because they are really killing us. We didn't have a bench point until I think the end of the second quarter or the beginning of the third, which is unbelievable. Absolutely have the worst bench in the NBA right now, and that has to be fixed.
Yeah, it was like, and I was actually looking at the box score at halftime because I'm just like, man, we need somebody else. And I realized that Bacone wasn't even on the bench. He's in the G League. So it's like now it's like Beauchamp or Kolek or somebody. Like we just needed another look of something because it was obvious that nobody had it. And we need to just kind of hit another button. And there was when the three buttons on the bench that we played wasn't hitting. It definitely wasn't hitting. Ebony, what's going on, Ebony? Unmute. Unmute yourself, Ebony.
I thought I did. I could have sworn I pressed that unmute button. What up, yeah?
What's going on?
But this game is it was terrible. Like this stretch is terrible. And it kind of makes me. What happened? Oh, you having problems? But it kind of makes me how you say it? Like think about the earlier parts of the season when we're asking for Tibbs to play some of these players against teams like this, again in games like this. You know, trying to get the others involved so you may be a little bit more comfortable to play them today. Playing the 8-man rotation in the back-to-back when we are clearly tired is not the move. We're missing the ball handler. Your coach has to get creative because we are missing such a big piece of our offense, of our team, period, right now. I saw a lot in the first half. We kind of were just going east to west. The ball was just going around the perimeter. They were moving the ball, but it wasn't more so off the dribble or getting to the rim and creating. It was just trying to pass the ball around, and we couldn't hit 3-pointers in that first half. Second half, I liked how we started the third quarter because we tried to get to the paint. You know, they tried to find more ball movement, more play movements, OG and what much. But our bench gave us nothing. 3 for 16 from Precious, Payne, and Shaman. 3 for 16. They only took 5 shots in the first half, and they was 0 for 5 in that first half. But 3 from 16 for your bench. This is why we asked Tibbs use his whole roster, because you never know. You just never know how the season ends up on who you're gonna need. The effort, the lack of, again, I'm cool with us. We're gonna lose games. It's just the way we lost these games, and we're regressing. This stretch kind of reminds me of right before the All-Star game where we were limping and everything was, you know, we couldn't hit a shot for a little stretch. We couldn't hit a 3-pointer. We looked real stagnant on offense. The defense looked a little step slow. Cat, great offensively, defense. Oh, Precious. Like it makes me nauseous, his defense. It makes me nauseous. Just watching people get to the lane and he like, I don't know if he's scared to be on somebody's poster, be embarrassed or what.
Yeah.
But he's not there. And he kind of almost takes himself out the play sometimes. Like it looks purposeful sometimes. Like purposely he's taking himself out of plays defensively.
Business decision to be looking like.
And if they hit him with one move, he might be good. 2 moves he done regardless. It's done. 2 moves, cat done. It's done. Was it Diamante was making that baby look crazy in some plays? You're rolling around him. I'm like, who is this guy? Another day of who is this guy?
Yeah.
This is frustrating. This is not what you want to see a couple of weeks before official, playoff starts. And granted, we're missing players, but again, it's next man up. So when people talk about us idolizing last year's team or the team prior, that's why, because it was the toughness in which they played. Even in our ugly games, it was still effort and heart, especially on the defensive end. So this is just having players, any player, it doesn't matter, from the Hardens to the Diamantes to the Daquan Jeffries. We let Daquan Jeffries have a good game.
Daquan Jeffries' revenge game is crazy.
Like this is stuff they can't happen. You don't want to see it to happen, and it's kind of demoralizing because you know what your team is capable of, and I think we're contenders. But then you have games like this, or a stretch like this, where they should be working on things and getting better, and we're regressing. It's like this.
Yeah, this is unacceptable. We can't continue to play like this. The defense has to. You have to wait. We can't continue making the same defensive mistakes every game. We can't play 8 people on a back-to-back. We got to open up our bench. This player's not stepping. McCall, man, like McCall actually shot well, but I was like, I just need more aggression from him. He had 11 shots.
Yeah, that's kind of why I wasn't mad about OG. Like he had 12 shots in the first half. And that was the kind of, I'm like, okay, at least he's trying to be aggressive. At least he's trying to get something done. Granted that he couldn't hit anything. 1 from 8 in the first half. He couldn't hit anything. I get
They were great shots, though. They were great.
Yeah, they were. We had 14 assists in that first half. Like, we were moving the ball. The ball just went, and we was 19% from 3 in the first half also. Right. So the ball just was not going in. Good shots, the ball not going in. With Mikal, though, he's such a team player that it becomes like, all right, come on, Mikal, you can't be a team player right now. We're missing a lot of our team.
Right.
You have to be the aggressive one.
Yeah, I feel like at a certain point, like, we're gonna have to like call a play for him, because when it goes to like the read and react freestyle stuff, yes, you're a clean player, move the ball, move the man, but at certain points, I'm just like, yo, just call a play for Mikal, yo. Call a play for him to go in the post or something and like get to his sweet spots or something, like, because 11 shots is not what we need from Mikal when we having shooting nights like this when most of the team is off, and you're like one of the only ones who kind of been efficient the whole night.
I think the thing that worries me the most. The thing that worries me the most is that this team in the year 2025 neither can guard a 3-point line, nor do they shoot a good volume of threes at a good clip. They're always, as I mentioned last podcast and podcasts prior, they are always competing 2 points against 3, and it puts them in a rut. And it seems like every single game they start in the first quarter running those curl plays for whether it's Bridges or OG, or so when Brunson's there, maybe it's above the break pull up, and they just clank. And those clanks lead to fast break, easy twos on the other side. And now we're in a deficit. Now we're down 4-0. Now we're down 8-0. Now we're down 9-0. And I feel like every game in the last month, it feels more often than not, we're coming from behind and having to catch up. And that's because we just don't shoot enough threes, and we don't have an offense that allows for off-ball movement to shoot quality threes. So a lot of it is forced. A lot of missed opportunities in transition because players don't have high basketball IQ. Pressure 2 is the most obvious one. I think Karl-Anthony Towns to be in this conversation as well. Deuce McBride has moments. Shamet has moments where Josh Hart has had moments lately where they're not understanding the trailer and trying to hit the trailer in motion to where they can hit a nice in rhythm, in motion 3-point shot. Instead, a lot of it is coming off of someone getting caught behind a screen, and within a double closeout, they're trying to pull up and shoot a fadeaway 3-point shot, which then leads to a fast break point on the other side for the opposing team. I'm not a fan, and please, one of y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like all three of us feel very similar about Tom Thibodeau. I wouldn't say that any of us are fans of Tom Thibodeau. I think we understand where we are right now, that firing him right now would mean that Rick Brunson is the head coach for the next couple of weeks for the New York Knicks. That is disaster. I think all of us agree. We also understand that this summer might be make or break for this head coach as well. If he was fired this summer, I would not shed a tear. I would not lose a wink of sleep, and I would be just focused purely on the optimistic side. That maybe we bring in someone who can diversify this offense and learn how to guard a three and take full advantage of our roster.
I agree with everything you just said. I believe this playoffs it definitely would tell us a lot about Tibbs' future. We need a non-stubborn coach, somebody that's willing to experiment. When you have so many pieces, you have to play with the pieces to see which ones work best together. When you have 15 players and you have potential in some of them, why play 9 all season? You use that, spread that out. We pause. We have we just let a team number 30 in number 30 in field goal percentage, number 28 in 2-point percentage, and number 28 in points. That's what Charlotte's team rankings are today. At this time, and we allowed them to look like the likes of Boston and I guess and Cleveland. Got whatever they really wanted. That's crazy. I keep hearing most prepared coach I ever played for. I keep hearing that. I also heard that Precious was a savant. That's why I take stuff that I hear with a grain of salt. They say he was this IQ had this high IQ, but we don't see that translate on a court. So Tibbs very stubborn. We can't keep making excuses for him because it's different squads, but we seem to be having the same issues, a lot of the same issues. So
yeah, for me, I'm indifferent right now. Like I'm not like I defend a lot of Tom Thibodeau haters because I feel like a lot of the criticisms are overblown. Tonight, I feel like the criticisms are warranted. And it was obvious to me that like it's a back-to-back. It's like a no-brainer. You have to play more than 8 people. Like that's not you don't have to be a basketball expert to know that you got to play more than 8 people.
Yeah.
So it's like for me, it's just like I'm just baffled about how this game went tonight, to be honest with you. And I need to see better from the players and the coach. Don't hate him. I don't love him. I'm just observing and seeing what happens. I know usually the front office doesn't get involved with the coaching and stuff like that. They let him do his thing, let him live and die by his own sword. I think when it comes to these back-and-back situations, I feel like somebody has to say something because you're hearing McCall talk about minutes. You're hearing Josh Hart, who had what? I think he played like 40 minutes tonight, or 39 minutes tonight. You heard him talking about him being tired. I think somebody has to be like, I don't know.
Somebody has to advocate for these players.
Somebody on the bench, but it's like also it's like we got Precious who was hard. Like the 3 bench players who did play with was so disgusting. it's like. We have Sham. It's funny because I was advocating for Shamet to play more. He's playing 20 minutes a game, and it seems like his production is dropping over the last few games. So it's like, all right, I advocated for the minutes. What are you doing with the minutes? You're not doing anything with it. The same thing could be said for. Campaign played 5 minutes a day. I don't know. Campaign has been falling off lately. I don't know. but he's always going to give you defense at least. So maybe you play him more. I don't know. Like I said, like we didn't even Dadier didn't even go on a trip. He's in the G League, so it's like the back-to-back is coming up. And Mitch is not playing because that's a game plan, which is fine. But if Mitch is not playing, like you kind of got a game plan for that beforehand, and not leave players behind that could fill in for him. That's just I don't know that decision is just off to me.
The thing that I hate the most,
yeah,
about Tom Thibodeau is not his schemes on one side of the ball or the other. It's the parts of his personality, specifically with how he develops trust with players. I absolutely abhor it because it seems like he generates trust and makes a decision on in-game playing time based on how players perform in practice and how they conduct themselves off the court. Because he is certainly not dictating trust based on NBA game playing time because guys are just not playing, period. So how can you ever show him that you have the right choice to be trusted if you're not even getting the game to do so? Which means he's basing these decisions on practice and off the court, the demeanor. And to me, what is the point of upgrading Charlie Brown Jr. and Daquan Jeffries to Marjon Beauchamp and PJ Tucker and not play either of them in a situation where you absolutely need to because Brunson is out, so you no longer have the guy who sets up the offense, and also the players are cold and your bench is the worst in the NBA. This is the perfect opportunity to sit OG, sit Karl-Anthony Towns, let them get rest, maybe even sit Josh Hart and see what you actually have at the end of the bench because the guys sits through 10 are probably the worst collectively, sits through 10 in the NBA. So at least see what guys 11 through 15 have and rotate them, not in a starting lineup, but in secondary roles and tertiary roles to see in a 10, 12-minute spans, is there something there for you to trust? Instead of practice, where not everyone brings their full 100% conditioning and effort in practice. The great Allen Iverson told us this. It's the games that matter. And how when 30,000 people are watching you in a stadium and millions on TV on nationally televised games, how do you perform under that pressure? Do you make or do you break? How well do you perform against different defenses, different looks when they go from man-to-man to zone? How do you play with OG and McHale compared to Deuce and Payne? You don't know until you try. And the thing I hate the most about Tibbs is the unwillingness to try, and he bases that trust, the opportunity to try, on practice and off the court.
Yeah. And I don't mind you seeing somebody practice and going, okay, they might be ready. But I also feel like you have to make some decisions on the fly on the game, depending on how the game is going. I still feel like you have to take into account that as well. And I think he's just ignoring that part completely. And today's an example of that.
Yeah. And everybody's not, that's the reason they say about teaching, because everybody's not a practice player. There's some people that just not practice players, to try to emulate the game and the speed of it. It's hard. I know I wasn't the best practice player. But if you have, they have some skill and you need that skill, why not take a chance? It's like, why not just see? If it doesn't work in the first 2 minutes, then snatch it. You wasn't playing them in the first place anyway. But at least to give them a chance. It's so the people like the guy like yesterday. You don't know what he's capable of unless you play him. Or all the other people, the supporting cast that seem to go off on the Knicks. Those teams wouldn't know what they had unless they played them.
Right.
Some teams are forced to play them because they may be lacking roster-wise, but you have to see. Tibbs, I've been saying this for forever. He doesn't do the specialists. He doesn't just do here and there. It could be, you never know, that it could be that person's night. They might not do that every night, but for this one game that you need, they might do that for you. Just try it.
Yeah.
Like, Beauchamp is a bucket. He can get on the heater. We got him here for a reason. Right. they chose DeLon Wright. We got him here for a reason, right?
Yep.
All the pickups we playing just like morale pickups or something. Like, why are we picking these people up if they're not even going to sniff the court?
Yeah, glorified cheerleaders at this point.
And this is the issue I've always had with the front office. It is the is that they don't put pressure on Tibbs sometimes. I'm not even saying to mind his business all the time, but if you're signing these players for him to have on his team to use as options, you should feel a certain type of way too. What?
Yeah. Listen, man. The only good news I heard today was Jalen Brunson is doing light shooting work out of the walking boot. That's the only good news I heard today.
Yeah, fact. I'm about to make something else. Make some more bad news. More stats. The team that's number 23, which is the Charlotte Hornets in turnovers. They only had 11 today. We didn't put enough pressure to cause any turnovers.
Yeah.
There wasn't enough defense to get turnovers.
Yeah. Now, the only thing I will say is they've been injury prone for a while, and they got LaMelo back, and they got Bridges back today. I think this might be the first game both of those guys been back at the same time. But still, we didn't really put up enough of resistance at all. That's not an excuse to me. Like we need to fight a little bit more, a little bit harder, and go further than 8.
It tells the story of your effort a lot when you look at the rebounding numbers. Being destroyed on the boards 52-38 lets you know about the type of effort and we had today.
Yeah, none, no effort. And I see Fritz out here. Fritz out here is promoting his Tibbs propaganda. Fritz's poll question: is there any circumstances where you can see Tom Thibodeau fired in season?
Yeah.
It does not make sense to fire Tom Thibodeau in season, especially this close to the playoffs. The season is about to end a month. It's way too late to fire Thibodeau in the season, and then have Jalen Brunson come back to a new coach either at the last 2 games or in the playoffs. That's just asinine. We gotta ride this out. We gotta ride this out. All right. Thibodeau fan, I'm not too late.
Yeah. This is what we had. That's it. This is what we rocking with until 2005, 2026 season.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Hi, yo, we don't gotta do a long post game. I got nothing else unless you want to add something. I got nothing else to add to this. I took it.
Oh no! I thought Lee, you said something. I couldn't hear.
I apologize, y'all. I don't know what the hell. I just the Knicks cursed me, man. My Wi-Fi is acted up. My computer just shut down. I never have technical issues, but here I am. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Can't see you, but I can hear you.
Yeah.
I think the host, I think Fritz turned me off while he's adjusting things.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, man, this is crazy. Listen, don't fire Tibbs mid-season, man. Nobody wants Rick Brunson coaching this team in the playoffs. That's an absolute nightmare scenario. But I truly believe, and I've said it since day one when the season started, I think this postseason's make or break for Tibbs. I do not believe that we can beat Boston right now. I'm saying we can't beat Cleveland, and I think it's all about how we lose. Do we get swept? Do we lose in 5 games and like every game's a blowout and we just look absolutely like a different level of competition? If that happens, I think he's going to be let go. And if that happens, I think he should be let go. That would be the right move. And just bring someone here that has a complete opposite philosophy. But listen, you have to also understand the truth about the matter is you're either hiring a coach that nobody else wants, that does not have a job for a reason. Like, I mean, there's many guys out there, but a Frank Vogel level coach, or you're going to hire a coach who's never coached professionally as the head coach in his entire career, a longtime assistant like Sam Cassell. I don't think that Johnny Bryant's going to come back from Cleveland. It feels like that bridge might be burned. I hope I'm wrong. I hope he's an option for us to reach out to, and Leon can mend that, because I think he really wanted to be the eventual successor and left when Tibbs was re-signed. So the options are going to be very slim. all of them come with massive, massive risks that will be hard to mitigate. But I do believe this summer we will know who the future of the next 4 or 5 years during our guys' prime, the core prime, is going to be.
Also, kind of,
you could turn on your camera, Lee. Fritz said.
Also, it says a host has disabled it. Oh, here I am. All right.
Yeah. Also, kind of feel like there's like another wrinkle coming. Like, depending on how far Jalen Brunson comes, like when Jalen Brunson comes back, right? If Jalen Brunson comes back beginning of April, then he'll have enough games to kind of get into rhythm. If he comes back closer to the playoffs, then the narrative is gonna be, is he a rhythm for the playoffs? So watch out for that. Watch out for that. Him coming out the walking boot today is a great sign, though. Hopefully, that means he'll be back sooner than later and 100% healthy.
I agree with that.
Yeah. All right. Anything else? Because we can get to ooh picks, bro picks, or I don't even know if there's any ooh, because it's a back to back, so there's not much happening between yesterday and today.
Work.
Huh?
It's been disgusting work. It's been really embarrassing.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Yep.
Yeah. Anything else you guys want to say?
I have one ooh pick.
Okay.
I hope I'm saying his name right. It's a meteor guy named Jeff Passan, and I think I'm saying his name right. I believe he's a big baseball media personnel. Shout out to him for standing on business about Jackie Robinson. Yeah, that they tried to get Jackie Robinson because our Department of Defense has nothing else to do. Like, it's not wars and all this other stuff. They have nothing else to do but to send emails to ESPN and tell them to remove stuff about Jackie Robinson. Obviously, that's so important to our defense of our country.
You're gonna bring me to the bro picks talking about removing Jackie Robinson part of the
they definitely got it. They gotta get the bro pick. But I had to shout out Jeff Passan for, I hope I'm really saying his name right. For standing on business, tagging them, letting everybody really aware of the situation and getting it put back on. Part of the reason that they probably put it back on was the outrage that he generated from raising awareness towards it. And shout out another ooh pick for Mina Combs too. She was huge on her segment. Had a pretty good segment talking about it, sports and race. So much so that the people calling for her job. So you're doing good, doing good work when the racists start calling for your job.
Exactly, yo. Yeah. My bro pick is these DI initiatives just going after anything black. It's just like, it's like it's kind of been like. It's kind of just been this smoke and mirrors thing where we're just like, we just want to make sure that people who are qualified get jobs, and it's turning into, we just don't want to recognize anybody not white.
Mm-hmm. That's basically it. Because I just don't get it. That's how do you classify that as DEI? His story is a part of American history. Period. Yeah. It's American history. It was no advantages given to him. Nobody gave him anything. He didn't enter any programs to get somewhere. He earned everything he got. He had to fight everything for everything he had. They did their best to deter him. So if his story is scrubbed, what's stopping the next history from me? Former athlete that's non-black who went to the military from their story being scrubbed too. Exactly. You can't excuse things anymore. It's pretty plain black and white. And there's a lot of people. You can't make excuses for this behavior. That's just where I'm at on that.
I agree. And if you're gonna really lean into DEI and say you want it to be fair, you need to eliminate the race box on job applications altogether. Mm-hmm. You need to eliminate the sex box in job applications altogether if you really want to really get into DEI.
Yeah.
if you want to get into DEI when it comes to these colleges and these legacy people, like half of Harvard's kids are legacy. People who donate money and their kids are automatically entered into the college regardless of what type of grades they are. I call that white DEI. When your mama got money and your dad got money, and you don't have to work hard, you can be a D student and can get into Harvard.
Yeah.
Use your connections to get a job or go to school without earning it. Now, I call that white DEI. If you really want to get rid of DEI, let's really get rid of DEI.
Yeah.
100% agree. Harvard also, if someone goes to Harvard, their kids get into Harvard automatically as well as part of that literacy program, which is also white DEI or Asian DEI.
Yeah, earn your own keep. If you want to earn your own keep, if you want to say earn your own keep for real, let's eliminate those check boxes, put the grades up against other people's grades, and really see who's earning their own keep. Because when you start to do that, then you start to realize that there's a lot of overqualified people not getting jobs because of white DI. But that's another story.
Well, that was my ooh pick. I guess I have some bros too. My bro pick. One of them has to go to Brandon Jennings.
Oh, yes. Yo, Brandon Jennings is going crazy right now.
It has to go to Brandon Jennings. His remarks about Drew Holiday was absolutely atrocious. He called basically Drew trash. And Drew Holiday is a player that any team will want. Does so much. How can you say somebody that is trash that can guard 1 through 4? And coming from somebody like that whose career was a struggle. Brandon Jennings' career really was a struggle. Like these people, them putting mics in front of people, everybody is not recommended.
He's a character on a mic, man. He gets in his feelings hard, and he doesn't like critique. Like
no.
Little known fact, Brandon Jennings used to kind of interact with the KOT show. I mean, when it was called the Nick of Time podcast, back when it was on Instagram, because we were one of the first Knicks content creation teams to be on Instagram, and we would post like videos of us critiquing players, bigging up players or critiquing players, and I would big up Brandon Jennings until he didn't play well. Then I was critiquing Brandon Jennings, and then when we critiqued him, he got mad. He got mad.
So like, oh no,
yeah, he got big mad. So this shouldn't be no surprise. This should be no surprise. Brandon Jennings is an interesting guy, man. Interesting guy.
Yeah, that baby, he was going off, not making no sense. But it is what it is. And I forgot I had another bro pick, but I forgot. So that I guess it's just gonna have to end on Brandon Jennings.
Facts. Oh man. All right. I mean, that's the show. Thank you guys for watching them. Listen, it's a rough game. Hopefully, we bounce back with a win. We should be more well rested next game. I think the next game is going to be back at home. A couple of days off. Me neither. I think the next 2 games are actually at home against the Mavs and the Wizards. I feel like we should win. I'm not going to say guarantee 4-game winning streak. We don't bounce back these 2 games. I don't know what to tell you, but I think we should win these 2 games. Hopefully, I'm correct.
If we lose to either of these 2 upcoming teams, boy, I think the Fire Tibbs noise is going to be at the loudest maybe it's ever been, because the Mavs are actively tanking and the Wizards are actively tanking. These are 2 teams that are trying to throw games, and half the Mavs roster's out. Kyrie's out for the season. AD's not coming back yet. Lively's out. PJ's in and out the rotation. That should be an easy win for us with Dinwiddie and Hardy playing so many minutes. I think Edson fractured his hand recently too. He's out. And then the Wizards had the worst roster in the NBA. They definitely are trying to get in that Cooper Flag sweepstakes or Ace Bailey. So, I mean, if we lose these 2 games, it's going to be really embarrassing. But who knows? Tom Thibodeau has been out-coached back-to-back games by first-year head coaches. So who the hell knows? It seems like anything's possible.
Yeah. And aren't the Wizards, didn't they win a couple too recently? I think they did. but we can't lose these games. And I shout out to Anthony Davis because they're trying to get him to not play for the rest of the season. He like, screw y'all.
That's funny.
Man.
That's funny. He has pride on the line.
I just think he being petty. Oh, yeah, y'all trying to ruin the team, huh? I got you.
Man.
He said, I got you. We're gonna win some games because I'm coming back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, those lottery teams be dangerous too at the end because they be playing free.
Mm-hmm.
Ask me how I know. Because the Knicks were lottery teams for years. We used to
get some at the end, right?
Moody, baby.
Exactly. Moody. Hey, wait. Yo, who was dude? Oh my gosh. Who was the big man? Indorf? Who hit like a game winner or something? He was oh my gosh. Yeah, I think it was against the 76ers. Was it Indoor? Does anybody remember who I'm talking about?
That is
Indoor. Yeah, I remember him. He used to be like Norlands Noel.
Yeah, he was like
that type of player.
Something with an N, yo. Oh my god.
I know you're talking about Indoor. That's his name, Indoor.
Indoor. It is in Maurice Indoor.
What you're talking about. Yeah.
Yes, Maurice Indoor, yes.
He was like a D version of Precious, which is real bad.
Exactly.
Maurice Indoor.
Yes, Maurice Indoor. Yes, Maurice Indoor. Like, we got to watch out for the Maurice Indoors in the next few games. All right.
Career high incoming, Maurice Indoor.
Exactly. We got to watch out for other teams' Maurice Indoors in the next few games for sure. All right. Oh, also, shout out to Alec Burke's family who supported the KOT show way back then. I don't even know if y'all probably not even still around. Shout out to you.
A bucket.
Mm-hmm.
Be a bucket. Detroit Burks. I like a bucket, not Detroit Burke.
I mean, not Alec Burks. I'm sorry, Trey Burke.
Trey Burke.
Trey Burke's family. Shout out to Trey Burke's family. Yeah.
I used to love me some Trey Burks. I thought he was gonna come in the league and do his thug dizzle because I remember it was Michigan, right? He played, and he was so good in college.
I think it was Michigan.
Yeah, I thought it was one of them people that I thought was gonna make it. Being not the next AI, but the next good small player.
Right.
It kind of didn't work right out. I mean,
yeah. They had to go into the Knicks. I think it was Dallas or something, and had a couple of good games.
Yep.
Faded away.
He was a part of the KP package.
Right.
I remember that.
Yeah, shout out to Trey Burke.
I hate how it feels. I know even when we're good, the Knicks still feel a little cursed. That sucks, man. Like, even when we're good, shit like this happens. And they're like, damn, man. Back to back? I get one loss. Back to back?
And it hurts more. It makes me more mad, too, Lee, though, because they just been talking crazy crap about us in these social media streets. This media streets, period. ESPN, Udonis Haslam.
Yep.
Udonis has been, rather. All these people, we can't be Doris Burke, you can't be Cleveland, you can't be Boston, you can't be Detroit, we can't be nobody. We just suck. Number 3 team that can't even beat playing teams according to these media people. And then you be like, what are they looking at? Da, 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 da. And then our team come out and repay us going back to back with all these people by these 2 stinky behind performances they just had.
Woo, bad.
You know what? I know we're trying to end the show, but it's a quick question. My bad, guys. Do y'all think what's the cause of that? Like, do you think I think Ebony brings up a great point. Is that like we're proving our haters wrong? Is that because majority on the players not performing up to their potential, or Tom Thibodeau just not adjusting?
Like, I always feel like it's a mix. I always feel like it's a mixture, man. Like, okay, so it's like today is like, all right, play the bench. The three bench players who played scored 0 points in 3 quarters. So it's like, all right, cool, play the bench. Play the bench. All right, cool. We play the 3 bench players. They give you 0 points in 3 quarters. So it's like, don't play the bench.
Play the bench's bench.
It's exactly.
That's what I'm saying. Play the bench's bench.
Play the bench's bench now, because the regular bench ain't benching right.
Right.
And like a lot of like, so that's part Tibbs, because it's like, all right, have the balls to play bowl champ. Like I said before, we're sitting Mitch on back-to-backs beforehand. So bring in more depth that you trust. Maybe bring Pocombe that. If you're not, if you did never going to play Pocombe anyway, then play somebody else. If you notice that everybody else has tired legs, and then Josh is saying out loud he has tired legs on a post interview,
right,
the night before. So if they're saying it out loud, then as a coach, you gotta kind of listen. Like my coaches, like my players are saying they're tired the night before the back-to-back.
Right.
I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, and I'm done. Go ahead.
Nah, yeah, I got with the Josh Hart thing. I found a little bit contradiction in his comments, because I remember not too long ago he was talking about how too many minutes, there's no too many minutes. We're not. It's not the minutes and this and this and this and that. Now after Mikal had said something, now he cool to say that we got tired legs. We got tired legs now. I see you now, but I remember you trying to clown us about the minutes and not being worried about it. But anyway, yeah, we have to. We can't do this. We can't. It's not. We said this earlier in the season that it wouldn't be sustainable to play that many amount of people, and then he did it anyway. But it was like, okay, he was gonna get people back, so maybe that'll force him to have to open up the rotation a little bit more. And then it really hasn't. And we need people to help us. Again, getting these pieces, we collecting them. We don't want Pokemon. We're not playing Pokemon. We're not trying to collect them all. We need to play them all. You know what I'm saying?
Another bar.
I'm just frustrated, man. I'm frustrated.
Free PJ.
It's a great point. I think it's a coach. I think it's Tibbs, man, because I've been coming on this. This is my third season on the program, and I've been on here arguing the same thing when Hartenstein was here, when Devo and Randall were here. Before that, when Quickly, Toppin, and RJ were here, we've been making the same case. Fournier. It's like, and I remember before that, I was frustrated with the Burts and the Reggie Bullock and the Taj. I was like, damn, man. What's it with the 7-man rotation, 8-man rotation? Guys playing super minutes back when we had Elfrid Payton and Julius Randle as the 1-4. I feel like it's Tibbs, man. It's the way that he coaches. It's an inability to really evolve and to experiment, and he's willing to lose his way than win someone else's way or a new way, and that's discouraging. Honestly, it's very discouraging.
Yeah, I just want to add real quick, because we were talking about this in the pregame space and your techniques right before the game about how should you have sat some of the players today. How we see some of the other contending teams where when they playing teams that don't really have anything to play for, they start resting a certain amount of people, staggering their team towards the end of the season, or even throughout the season, just trying to do some type of load management for their players. Yeah. So and people's like, no, we trying to get a good spot. We don't want to play certain teams and this and that. I get that, but it's a whole picture. It's a grand scheme of things. Our sole goal is to get to the playoffs healthy. Because when you look at the history of the champions, it's always the most healthy team. You've seen Boston's journey to the championship. They played a lot of injured teams missing players. They got all their players at the right spot. They start load managing and making sure they got all their pieces for when they needed them. And that's what I need from Tibbs and the Knicks. Every game is not a final game 7. It's okay. I'm not saying it's ever okay to throw a game, but it's okay to let the others try to show you what they have and try to get a game for you.
There you go.
And still some rest for the players that you need in the playoffs.
Get that fine. Pay the fine. Oh man. Fritz, thank you, Fritz, for the reminder. It has been reported that PJ Washington is going to sign
PJ Tucker.
PJ Tucker. Woo. PJ Washington. Because playing the Hornets too, so kind of the PJ kind of PJ.
we play him soon though.
Yeah. PJ Tucker signed a second 10-day contract. So welcome back, PJ Tucker. Wish you played a little bit today. To me, that's a kind of a signal that he will be here for a final roster spot. So I kind of feel like that's a foregone conclusion. Do you guys feel any differently?
No. Honestly, like I thought it was a possibility they might not do it again because we might need that spot, especially after some of the up and down games we had and the positions that we need. If you're not gonna play him again, the vet he not toughing out Draymond Green. Why he?
Yeah, he's gonna give him a hug. Apparently,
it's all right though. I had read something on the internet that Draymond getting toughed out in real life. He out here getting extorted off court.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The guy, I don't know if y'all noticed, it was some big gang. These gang members, an old time gang member, they finally got caught. They got enough to arrest him. This person has supposedly extorted Shaq, Draymond, and a couple of other NBA players. He hustled them, scammed them out of some money or whatnot. So that's why Draymond's so mad. He out here getting tough in real life. He trying to hurt people.
That's true.
Yeah. Delivered that passionate monologue about why we should sign PJ Tucker. The one thing that he can do to not make me look like a total idiot is just call a players only meeting and lead the charge, bro. Like you already showed us that you're not the guy we thought you were because you're over there dapping up and hugging up on Draymond Green, as you guys previously said. I thought if anyone was going to walk off the court with Cat, it would be PJ. But it was very disappointing to see PJ be one of the guys out there giving Draymond dap and love after Draymond, just absolutely spit all over Cat. And the reason that he was out trying to say it was Dodge and Butler when it's a death in a family to cancer, which is a horrible thing to do, and then to double down and made someone even more like a dick. So, yeah, I need a players-only meeting, man. I need some guys called out. I need people expanding their role and taking it seriously and being aggressive at all times, playing good defense, and have a conversation with the coach, too. The coach needs to have a come-to-Jesus moment with Leon Rose. I agree 100% with that, but someone needs to pull that man aside and be like, look, man, like this is it. We need you to show us that you have a capacity to change. The players are doing it. Can you do it? And then see where it goes from there.
Yeah. Well said. All right. Well said, man. I think it's a good place to end the show. Ebony, let them know where they can find you, Ebony.
You can find me here after every Knicks game. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. I'm a Knicks fan. I do the pregame before every game on Twitter called Your Take Knicks, and during the WNBA season, Bowling with the Queens. Get to talk about the women's season.
All right. Lee, let me know where they can find you.
At Twitter _Lee Thibodeau. I also want to make myself the broad pick. Yesterday, I advocated for Robert Williams, the third Time Lord, to be added to the Knicks. Today, it was announced he's going to miss the entire season with arthroscopic procedure in his left knee. My damn it, Time Lord cannot stay healthy, man. He is truly Mr. Glass.
Time Lord need a time machine so he can avoid some of these injuries.
His knees as cooked as my take, man. That was absolutely horrible. I apologize to y'all, brethren, for having that horrible suggestion because my man is unbelievably injury prone. Book club. Yesterday, I recommended the Fantastic Four. Today, I got one for Jay Ellis. This is Marvel's Illuminati series. By Brian Michael Bendis, the creator, Miles Morales. Unbelievable story about how this whole time, for the last 50 years, there's been a secret cabal of superheroes. Mr. Fantastic, Doctor Strange, Professor X, Iron Man, Namor, Black Bolt, and Black Panther that have been controlling all of the events. Civil War, Annihilation, Thanos, all of that. The Infinity Saga, and it's really interesting, more of like a political espionage story, and it's mostly them sitting around a table talking about the whole history of the Marvel Universe and how they've been interceding in their arguments that led to how things turned out. Really good. Very little action, tons of conversation, but as someone who likes to challenge the status quo and think outside the box, I really thought JLS would love the Illuminati series here by Marvel. Only $15 too.
That sounds like an interesting story. I'm not going to hold you.
It's great. It's really good.
Yeah, that sounds like an interesting story. All the big wig nerdy Marvel guys getting together, figuring out how to play the universe like chess pieces. Yeah, sounds interesting.
All of their different personalities and motivations come out, and you see the real dark side of all of them. It's very interesting.
That's a fact. Oh man, I don't know. Do you have any of you guys seen Invincible before?
Season 1.
Season 1. Season 2 is out. Do you know season 2 is?
I did not know that.
Yes, I think it might be. I think it might be on season 3 right now.
Time to binge. I'd have something to watch.
Invincible, you said? I might check it out.
Very good.
I'm warning you right now, Ebony. It is gory.
It is.
At first?
Huh?
At first or period?
Period. At first, at second, at third.
The first episode.
You know, I need stuff to keep my attention because I'm.
It's going to keep your attention.
Yep.
It's a cartoon. It's a bloody cartoon. It's probably the most gruesome action scenes I've ever seen in an animated series ever.
Okay, I'm gonna check it out. I don't know. I watch shows. It probably been on me off air for a long time, and I'll catch it later on. I'm actually watching Lost right now.
Right. Yeah, season 3 just ended. See, I haven't watched all week. So season 3 just ended because there was an epic fight scene. When was the last time I watched it? So it felt like it was about to end from the way things was going. So yeah. Okay. Season 3 just ended according to Fritz. So season 4 loaded, I guess.
Oh, I got 2 seasons to watch.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you'll be happy and busy. All right.
Speaking of old TV shows, I'm rocking my Living Single shirt tonight that came in the mail last week.
One of the greatest shows ever.
Friends could never.
That's why I was about to say the same thing, Jay.
Oh man, did you hear about the story about how Friends was the direct copy of Living Single, and then they put him in the same time slot?
Yep. White DEI. Full circle. Maxine is one of my favorite characters in TV history, and I feel like I relate to her a lot, and that probably explains a lot of my personality. I think she's a great character. Maxine.
She's a Maxine.
Wow, man, I love Maxine, man.
She's my favorite character.
Maxine and Carl and Kyle. Oh my gosh, yeah, both of them.
Relationship.
One of my all-time favorite scenes from that show is when when they improvised. It wasn't even scripted, and they was making fun of Regina's outfit, and they're doing the African dances and the calls.
Oh man,
That's probably like
binge watched it during COVID again.
I grew up on it. It used to be Family Matters, Fresh Prince, Living Single.
Yep.
Same, exactly.
I the bowl of cereal, watching my TV shows. I mean, hell yeah.
For real, you was cool with staying inside because the TV lineup was on point.
It was on point back then, man. UPN, that was my shit.
That's a fact. Yeah, shout out to the 90s sitcoms was great, man.
Incredible.
Yeah.
They don't take their time with sitcoms like that no more. With character development, staying with storylines and stuff.
No, they really don't. All right. And on a positive note, Living Single.
That's the best note. That's a great note to end it on.
All right, yo, that's the show. Thank you guys for watching. And as always,
shout out the World Wide West. Everywhere we go, we leave a worldwide mess.
It is a mess.
It's a mess out here in these Knicks streets. That's the show. We out of here. Peace.
New York, big city of dreams. New York, big city of dreams.
NYC.